Dollar Bin Diving Comic Book Haul. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, comic book fan. Welcome to another comic haul. This one is a Dollar Bin Diving comic haul. I went to the local mall and there was a bookstore that I'd never been to. So I thought, let me go inside and maybe there's some comic books. And there were a bunch of comic books. $3 each, or 2 for $5, or 10 for $20. I ended up getting 45 comics, some really interesting ones, so let's take a look. First, I got 3 of these Earth X books. We've got the Wizard special edition preview sort of thing from Wizard Magazine number 77. I made some notes right there. That was from January 98. Wizard number 77. Very cool sketches and preliminary drawings and such of the characters from this amazing Alex Ross series in the late 90s. Then there was also issue number 0. Cool Alex Ross cover. Not quite the interiors. And then there was Earth X 1, the main series. So not in perfect condition. There's a couple of things here and there that they're banged up on, like on the corner and such. Of these 3, I've enjoyed the Wizard special so far. But what about you? Did you ever read the Earth X series? This cool alternate reality of the Marvel Universe? If you have, tell me about it in the comments. I got Nomad Girl Without a World number 1 and number 3. So this is the series where we've got Ricky Barnes, the Heroes Reborn Rob Liefeld Pocket Universe version of the Winter Soldier, who's making an appearance in the MCU, right? So it's McKeever, Baldion, and Sotomayor. I'm glad she took some time off of the Supreme Court to work on this book. But anyway, it's 1 and 3. Overall, the quality looks alright. There are some spine nicks over here, and that's part of the original art, isn't it? That's not any damage in my book, is it? It's supposed to be like that, right? I hope. Or is it? Yeah, it's part of it, right? Because we've got these clouds and stuff on the back, right? And then this one's really cool too with this limited color palette. So I only saw number 1 and 3, but obviously number 1 is one of the important ones. Well, number 2 is she actually wears the suit. At the end of number 1, she finds the suit, but at number 2, she actually wears it and such. So it would have been cool to find all 4 of them, but there's only 1 and 3, so that's interesting. A Marvel book over at the Icon imprint. This is Millar and McNiven's Nemesis second printing variant, issue 1 299, because real men get second printings. So this is one of the ultra-violent series that Miller is involved in, besides Kick-Ass, and this is the second printing variant, so that's kind of cool. There was a third printing. It's pretty fun having this one lone casing right here. Pretty good condition. I don't really have any of the Miller World comics. This is Icon, a subsidiary imprint of Marvel Comics. Interesting pickup. Let's go way old school. Bad Axe number 1 from Adventure Comics. This is the publisher from the 80s at the end of the black and white explosion that happened after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1984. This is later, this is 89. Black and white interior art. Cream colored pages showing their age. Very well drawn black and white interiors and epic covers. That was the sort of du jour style of these 80s comics. Really cool epic painted covers and black and white interiors with varying qualities. The interiors, the interior art on this I think is very, very good. And I have a couple of the Adventurer comics by Peter Hsu, and they're very, very nice. This is a different artist. Interior art, still pretty good. And this is a demonic skeleton coming out of the fire. What's not to like? The name's pretty horrible, though. I got some of the Strangers in Paradise comics. These are kind of interesting. This is the Gold Series foil. You can see that's gold foil. This is the Gold Series foil reprint of issue number 3 of 3, originally published at Antarctic Press. Here it is in Terry Moore's own Abstract Studios. So I think there were 2. There was the non-foil and then the foil printing. I think this was more rare. This is the more rare one, gimmick covers and so forth. This was, making the note here, this is from 1997. This is the reprint from Antarctic Press, which is originally 1994. Then there was volume 2 over here. This is also one of the gold foil logo reprints. Originally from 1995, this is a 1997 gold foil reprint. Very nice. And then this is the real volume 2, number 4 original printing, not the reprinting. Actually, this is a second printing. I made a note here. This is a second printing of volume 2, number 4, but not the gold foil series. So actually, are these like third printings or something? I don't know. All those indie comics back in the day were very interesting. And this is a pretty cool, fun series from Terry Moore. Great interior black and white art, very cartoony style with Francine and Kachu in their adventures. Did anyone say The Rocketeer? Here we have Dave Stevens' The Rocketeer Adventure Magazine. This is published at Dark Horse Comics. Third issue, amazing cover by Dave Stevens and Paul Chadwick. It's the final act. And this is endorsed by the NRA, not the NRA, the good NRA actually. Wonderful color interiors, Dave Stevens art, very, very nice condition. This is one of the Dark Horse printings. After it jumped ship from Pacific Comics, Dave Stevens went on to publish the character for several more issues in various publishers like Dark Horse. Love that cover. I picked up an early issue of the Catwoman Volume 3, I think, with Ed Brubaker. This is number 9. And then I got over here number 23. So nothing really, really fancy or valuable happening in any of these. This is before the Adam Hughes covers that everyone loves and values. Still very cool interior art. This is sort of in the style of Batman the Animated Series. I love these limited color palettes on the covers. Interior art is cute and cartoony, just like I like it. These were the only 2 there in the shop, so it's kind of interesting. Gen 13 number 13A and number 13C. There was also 13B, and now I'm thinking I should have gotten it, but I already had 13B in my collection that I got somehow, and so here's 13A and C. So it's the 13th issue of Gen 13. On their first issue, they had 13 variant covers. That was a first in the comics industry. Here, when they got to issue 13, they had 3 versions of 13 ABC. And this is a really fun side story where grunge basically goes into the world of various other copyrighted characters, because we meet Archie, the Archie crew in this series, Betty and Veronica and Archie Jughead, drawn by J. Scott Campbell. In 13B, we meet the Bone Crew, and 13C is extremely wacky. We see Wolverine in there, Madman, Lady Death, so many copyrighted characters. Grunge is trying to get his copy of this amazing chromium cover. Will he make it? You'll have to read it and see. And like I said, I already have 13B, but I kind of feel like I want that other copy too. Maybe I'll go back. Let's go even more vintage with a copy of Sire Force Zero and Youngblood number 1. Ooh, classic vintage. This is 1992, 1993. Pretty good condition. It looks like they were bagged and board since the 90s, and so now they've made my home. Not the newsstand edition, which is what I really want, but just putting something fun and nostalgic into my collection, and it's pretty cool to see vintage comics of the 90s. Did you see Comic Tom 101's and Gem Mint's video about what do we call the new age of comics from the 90s up to 2010s? I kind of like the Mylar age, or perhaps the Chromium age, to differentiate from modern age starting in the 2010s forward. What do you think? So when I bought this one, the clerk gave me some looks. What, just because we got a 99% naked Poison Ivy on the cover in black and white? It's just comics, man, don't worry about it. Anyway, here's Batman Detective Comics number 823 from November 2006. This has a sticker stuck on it. That sucks. But I think if we look carefully as well, this is a newsstand print, isn't it? The barcode looks a certain way when it's direct edition, and they vary throughout the years, right? Some of them literally say direct edition on it. This one doesn't, it just says dccomics.com. But oftentimes, that little barcode with a number means newsstand, because that 11 means November, and that's from November, so I'm pretty sure this is a newsstand edition from 2006. I'd say it's an 8.0, 7.5. Well, I guess it's even worse than that because it's got the sticker on it. But yeah, this is just something interesting that was there. I like the cover for various reasons, but it's also a newsstand edition. Cool monochromatic with touches of green and a Poison Ivy story. Batman's face looks a little bit weird. but I'll accept the rest. Moving on to another superhero, here is presidential material John McCain. No, they didn't have the Barack Obama one. I want that one more, of course. J. Scott Campbell drawing John McCain for the 2008 presidential candidate. Back when IDW had their old logo. They started off as Idea and Design Works, after all, here in my hometown of sunny San Diego. And so, newsstand edition, see how the barcode is different? And it's basically the life story of John McCain up to the presidential election, and it's sort of a rock the vote type of comic. Now it makes me want to track down the Obama one so that I can have them both. And I think McCain is facing to the right and Obama's facing to the left. And they make a nice little diptych right there. So, did you know about this comic? Do you have your own copy? Do you have both of them? Tell me about it in the comments. I was very happy to get this one. Big Trouble in Little China meets Escape from New York. Loot Crate exclusive, still in the bag, and it doesn't really show up too much on the camera here, but the bag is really messed up, although it doesn't look like the comic itself is messed up. So tell me about it in the comments, VMC crew. What should I do? Should I keep it in the bag, even though the bag has bad eye appeal? Should I take it out of the bag and just have it in a nice modern bag? What should I do? Should I leave the Loot Crate bag? I kind of want to open it and take the Loot Crate bag away because it's just in such bad condition and the comic itself looks fine, but I'll defer to you. Tell me about it in the comments. What should I do? Leave it as is? It'll be way more valuable that way? Or take it out of the bag? No big deal. Tell me about it in the comments. Here's a very interesting one. The X-Files, special edition number 3. This basically collects these issues. I think it's 7, 8, and 9. What's interesting is that if you look at the barcode, that's gotta be another one of these newsstand editions. This is a Topps comic newsstand edition. This is some of the rare stuff of the 90s. People are going gaga over newsstand edition of comics, usually talking about Marvel Comics and DC Comics, but there's been other third-party publishers throughout the years, Image, Dark Horse, Topps, rest in peace, they only lasted about, 3 years, and this is such a niche publisher in the 90s. They published Zorro comics, Jurassic Park comics. The X-Files comics was the only one that really went too far. And to know that there's like a 1 in 100 or even more variant newsstand edition of these, this is kind of amazing. Again, all of these books are not really in the best condition. I think they're mostly 7.0s and 7.0 to 9.0 perhaps. But this is a pretty cool addition to my collection. A newsstand edition of a Topps comic book. Plus, I love the X-Files. All the ones I showed previously were in their own bags and board, and you could tell that they were there for a long time. The following ones were just raw there without any bag and board, so these are the ones that are definitely in the 7.0 or 6.0, I guess. Truth, Red, White, and Black, number 4 of 6. I wish it was the first issue, I wish it was the last issue. This one's kind of in the middle, this is not the big valuable one, but this is the new Captain America origin issue. We have Kyle Baker as the artist, so I didn't realize that it was Kyle Baker, very cartoony art, which I always enjoy. And this was very unexpected that I saw it on the shelves here. It is beat up here and there. It looks a little bit better on the camera, so it's got good eye appeal. And I was surprised to see this, so I picked it up. I wish there was just the other issues though. Bee and Puppy Cat number 7. These also have a little bit of value. They were under-ordered, and this is a Cartoon Hangover / Kaboom joint. This is cover B, even though it's not noted in the barcode. That should be 0721. It should be 00721, but it says 07011. Anyways, it's cover B right there. Very cool Prismacolor colored pencil cover. Fun, gentle stories. Low print run, kind of under the radar. This is a free comic book day, number 1, Street Fighter V, wrestling special, really fun art, with all of the ladies wrestling, try to beat each other down, no stamp from the comic shop, kind of beat up. This was one of the ones that didn't have a bag as well, just like that Bee and Puppy Cat one. It's from 2017. And lastly, from 2017, I got Star Wars Darth Maul, the Halloween Comic Fest edition of this. It's a free comic book day direct edition. This one's pretty beat up. There's a little bit of of the cover color missing right there. If you look closely over here, there's a gouge in the cover. If you don't quite notice those things, it's a great Darth Maul painted cover. There's also a fold over here, so this is one of the ones that was out of a bag. And actually, the bookstore owner gave these last two that I showed here. He gave them away for free, just to round things off. As I said, I got 45 comics, and they were selling 10 for $20, so the math didn't quite work. He charged me $45 in total for 45 comics. So I saved a little money there. But when I saw this Darth Maul cover, I had to have it. Look how tough he looks. So that was the comic haul, just a variety of interesting comics. Not in the best condition that I would like, but some cool reads, some cool collectible stuff, great covers, cool stories. What do you think? Tell me about it in the comments. Was all of this worth $45 plus tax? Did I get scammed? Is there anything cool that you like? Have you found your own treasures in your dollar bin divings? Tell me all about it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, consider pressing join right here in YouTube to pledge and become part of the VMC crew. You'll get exclusive stuff such as longer versions of the videos. At the higher tiers, I'll mail you some swag, give you shoutouts in the videos and all that good stuff. Just click join to find out what you can get. If you can't quite pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply like, comment, share, follow, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur, all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. This has been VM Campos, and may your dollar bin divings be epic.